All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. Hadn't been on here since last week, so this week I'm actually going to be cameraless. So I hope y'all can hear me. All right, good. Hey, Todd, DT, morning, Chris, morning, everybody. It's technically an LRE here, but I'm not going to take it. I just sat down, or I just got my charts all loaded up and everything. Looks like it hasn't really. It's at the bottom of the 50 tick chart, so yeah, I'm definitely going to wait. So wait for a breakout bar on the 50 tick. Doesn't look like the market's moving very great anyways. There's the 50 tick chart. And I am on the new contract. Rolled over all my contracts. If you haven't rolled over yet, you may want to. Volume's still pretty split. There's a little bit more volume on the old contract still, but that'll all be changing. Morning. I want to. So yeah, waiting for a 50 tick breakout. That's why I didn't take this LRE right here, because it's at the bottom of that 50 tick bar, which I would have gotten stopped out if I did take this one. Waiting for that 50 tick breakout, as I always mention. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all had a good week last week. Good weekend. Hey, Jim, how's it going? Yeah, I had a really good week last week myself. Lost one trade on Monday, and then Thursday I had a losing day. I didn't hit my full loss amount that I give myself. It was about a little more than half. And then Friday had a great day. Wednesday had a great day. So Definitely had a really good week last week. And to be honest, I went cameraless now for my own, I guess, psychology, mental side. Um, November I had quite a bit of up and down and was a little uncharacteristic of my previous trading. So last week I felt really comfortable sitting in front of the charts and knowing, nobody's looking at me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot this week to turn off the camera. And, while nothing's happening, then I can actually sit here and be a little more comfortable rather than knowing, a whole bunch of people are staring at me. We have 5 bars of chop on the 50 tick now. Man, not a lot of movement at all today. Oh, you know what? This could be why. Let's see. Potential setup A, setup B on NQ. Potential TX on NQ. Tomorrow, right here, tomorrow we have 8:30 a.m. CPI coming out. I bet you anything that's why the market is the way it is today. I can almost guarantee it. We have CPI, and then the next day on Wednesday, we have the Fed funds rate. So that's probably going to keep the market in a bit of a not so great state as far as, for us trading. I bet that's what's going on. Yeah. And then, of course, we have the split in contracts. Yeah, Chris, there's still little bit more volume on the old contracts. I'm sure by the end of today, we'll have more volume on the new contracts, and then it probably won't be fully rolled over until about midweek anyways, which that's when all that news is. So just got to be patient. At this moment, I'm just waiting for this right here to give me a breakout before I even consider anything, because I don't really like to play the ranges very much. Although I did consider over this weekend, on days like today or rangy days, maybe having a YM chart up and doing some Lorex trades, but I don't know. I'm still not really committed to that. So, because there are some days, where many days go by and there's just ranges. Yeah, I hate the ranges. I mean, especially because the range, the LRE is a pullback of a trend, so that means I can't really take an LRE confidently. Of course, yeah, for simplicity, yeah, you can take, playing the ranges on simplicity are great, especially if there's like a 50 tick or more range, top to bottom, bottom to top. Nice, Todd. Yeah, I was thinking about pulling up a YM chart and maybe doing that. Try to wait for some no-brainers, but then again, I'm not. I don't know. Yeah, Chris, you could just basically scalp, just like here. Right here, we had entry 714.25. I mean, could have ran that down, trailed it. I mean, that was a good 10 points right there. 40. You could have got 30, 40 ticks on that easily right here. And then another little long scalp. Could have had two trades right here and been done for the day. Just scalping simplicity. But you got to know to keep a tight trail if you do this on this type of day. Or a tight stop, I mean. Yeah, and then it could just go. Yeah, I noticed that breakout earlier. That was around like 4:45 a.m. or so on the 50 tick back here. Went sideways basically all morning after midnight on the 50 tick, then had a little breakout there, and then here we are. But yeah, I was thinking about it because there's times where, maybe the market, it could be a week and it's not really trending. It's kind of ranging. And I was thinking about that over the weekend too. Like maybe I should incorporate another trade for those times. Just hadn't really fully decided. Because my thinking was always, well, I'd rather stick to what I'm really comfortable with and not take a trade. And if it's a week, it's a week. It's fine, but I won't have losing days. But now I'm kind of like, I don't know. Just thinking about it. All right, let's see if this wants to finally go long or not. 50 tick. It's at the top. Hinting. I mean, technically we got an early entry long here, but not one I would take. Now let's see if it wants to actually go long. There we go. It's trying. Shot up to the top there. Hitting that Darrell wall and mini magnet. I do hate when the simplicity chart is just completely red and green. Not even for trading purposes. I just hate the way it looks like this. Okay, it might be trying, but then right above we have a deviation level. Hey, Dan. Good to see you. Good morning. Funded futures trading. Nice. Yeah, man. I would just say just take your time. Really study all these order prints and everything. It's really amazing how accurate, and once you're really reading the market with them, I mean, it's just insane, in my opinion. Nothing else better. All right, we got the 50 tick chart. It needs to, the bar needs to close at 11,734 to confirm breakout bar. But then, like I said, we have the deviation right above. So, have to see where it goes from there. If it can continue. All the order prints, levels, and all that stuff will automatically plot for you when you roll over. So you're, yeah, all that stuff is going to auto plot. Yeah, exactly, Todd. So that's it's great that if we get a breakout bar long, but then it's hitting right into the deviation level. So it's kind of like, that's great, but then I need it to continue further for me to consider something. I mean, just looking at it, I'm fully not anticipating taking a trade today. As always, though, I'm going to look and see if there's an entry, if there's an opportunity. But, you know, one of the biggest things I had to learn was market awareness and knowing when the market just doesn't look very good. And today is one of those days. So I really need something really good for me to jump in this morning. Nice. Funded futures trading. Yeah, that's awesome. That's what I did when I started. I've been at it almost 3 years now, and with Apex. And I mean, that's what I did. I literally got a notepad out. I mean, I would draw the things that I saw, highlight them, colors, all kinds of stuff. Just studied it like I was going to college or school or whatever. And you know, I was determined to really learn the system. Yeah, that's what I was just I was talking about earlier. Whenever I was looking at why is the market not really moving, and then I remembered we have Tuesday and Wednesday big news events happening, and then you know, rollover as well. Yeah, Dan, it's funny how it works, trying to learn the system. I still remember, trying to learn it, learn it, and then I mean, it's weird. And everybody, I think most people that know the system now and have been trading it for a while, they all say the same thing. It's just feels like one day it just all clicks. Like out of nowhere. It's just weird. Because you're trading, you're studying, and you're like, oh, okay, this, and you're asking questions. That's another thing. Ask a lot of questions. Join a mentor room, and man, just keep asking questions. And then one day, it's just so weird. One day, it's just like, bam, oh, now I got it, and then it just takes off. I mean, most people have said that same thing, especially after you go through Thrive as well, the Thrive event. 100% recommend that. Okay, so now the bar didn't close up, closed down. Might be getting a breakout bar short. Maybe a settlement run here if this can close at 695.75. Or it might want to just stay in this little range. Let's see, where's settlements? Right down here. We have this crash. This is a 30 tick crash right here. About 689. This area right above settlement. So if we can break this 700 level, that would be a target for me to go to there. And if it could break that, of course, settlement. But there's quite a bit down. Mainly that crash. That crash is the biggest thing I see pulling this, that could pull this down. Got my 30 tick here. You can see that crash right here. So it has to break this area. But that's really the only thing I'm seeing on the 30 tick right now. Yeah, Mark, I pretty much, that messed me up. Doing that, because I already had problems with discipline when I started and losing. So losing all your profit with one trade really messed me up, and then I'd go into FOMO, revenge trading, all that stuff. That's why I really started trading the LREs, the low risk entries, on Simplicity, because of the ratio. And for example, pre-market right now, I only go have a 15 tick loss. This is pre-market. 15 tick stop loss, which is less than a sniper trade. But I usually get 25 or more ticks out of the win. Sometimes 30, 40, 50, depending on, because now I'm trailing it. But even before then, I'd have a target of around 25 ticks. So that's more than a 1-to-1 ratio. And that helped my discipline so much, because now I know if I take a loss, it doesn't bother me as much, because I know the next trade will put me back in the profit. So yeah, I struggled with that a lot. So if you're not taking LREs and you're just doing snipers, I would do either the Lorex or the strong sniper trades like a HD or ETX, and look for basically some no-brainer setups. That way you could try to target 20 ticks or more. And if you have a target, go for it for 20 ticks. And, after it passes up your regular scalp, like 9, 10 ticks, just move to break even in case if it doesn't go. That way, you at least, if it comes back on you, at least you break even on the trade. But then you're giving yourself an opportunity to have more of a 1-to-1 ratio. That's what I did, and that is not what Apex recommends. Although they do teach you how to go for bigger profits in Thrive, so it's, I guess, halfway, not exactly what they say, but just so you know. But yeah, that's what I do. Hey Ronan, yeah. So yeah, this is the futures market I'm trading here. Yeah, I'm still trading futures going on almost 3 years. Been about a month, a little over a month going live though. Nice, T France. Yeah, that's good. Going through the boot camp. Yeah, like I was just saying, take a lot of notes and really study it, cuz like I was just saying, I've never seen something so accurate to the tick. I mean, cuz this is order flow, the sniper chart. It's order flow. They just coded it and built it in a way that it plots all this stuff on the chart, so we don't have to sit there and just look at numbers. Because, order flow, typically you're looking at something like this, and you don't have markings on the chart. You're just having to read the numbers. So thankfully Apex put this all together on this sniper chart for us, so we don't have to sit there and just read numbers and look at imbalances and all that stuff. It plots it for us. The boot camp is free. Actually, it's a free 30-day boot camp. You get to go through all the trainings, see if it's something for you, and then after that, you can pay $1 and get another 30 days. So basically 60 days for $1. But the first 30, you don't even have to put a credit card in or anything like that. You could just go through, check it out, and then from there, decide if it's something for you. I don't. That's another thing that's why I started with it a few years back, is that I don't know any other system where they're like, hey, try us out, check out everything we have to, pretty much everything we have to offer without even putting a credit card. That's how confident they are in the system. But yeah, you can go to my website right here on this little scrolling ticker on the bottom. You'll see it, futuressniperbeast.com. And right when you go onto it, you'll see a little overview video about trading with the sniper system. And then you can click it. It'll take you right onto the website and give you all that info. Yeah, I had a little bit of issues. I rolled over last night to make sure everything was ready for today, but I don't know, with the roll and everything, they just may be a little bit of different little data issues happening. I mean, my charts all match up with everything. Some of the percentages were a little bit off, but I think that'll kind of clear up as the day and a couple days go by. Yep. NQ is pretty much what I trade, because I trade pre-market. I stop trading about 10, 15 minutes before the open, just because that's what my schedule is right now. But so yeah, for the pre-market, NQ is what moves the best for me. After the market opens, if NQ is too crazy, I'll go to like YM. But most of the time I'm staying on NQ even after the open. And there's different styles of trading within the system. There's the trading I do, there's different setups, different things. So it's nice because you can still find what you're comfortable with for your trading style within the system. All right, we might be breaking short, maybe, if it can break this little wall and dynamic magnet, which is pretty strong when they're stacked together. And it looks like we have a 30 tick ZOI there as well. Right here. So if we could break this, we might be making a settlement run or head down to that crash that I mentioned, which was right here. Depending on if we could break this. $695.75 would be the breakout bar. Yeah, so if we could break $695.75 would be the breakout bar on the 50 tick, which would be hitting this wall. And if we can break this and hit this wall, I might take a pullback LRE if it pulls back in this area somewhere. Because then I can trail it down to this crash, maybe even settlement. Like right now, it's technically would be an LRE, but I'm not taking it. I'd prefer a breakout first. Also, we just had a Lorex long, so I'd be taking an LRE short against this Lorex long, which I don't like that. There's no HD, nothing else plotting here for me, and it just doesn't look good for me. I'd prefer this to run short. Again, the market is kind of not so great, so I need something really good for me to enter in today. $857 possible. Yeah, so this was an LRE by rule. Not one I would have taken, though. Because the one you're mentioning, Jean, was right here, I believe. So it came down, a couple big bars came down, pulled back up. It's within a couple points of this last solid line here. So technically it is an LRE. And I mean, you would have gotten a nice scalp out of it. But if you see, there's a pretty clear range here, pretty much up here and down at this bottom. I typically don't like to take an LRE in a range because eventually it's going to break out of the range, right? So I don't want to get in this pullback and then this be the time where it's in the middle of the range. It decides to come back up and break out. And also because the 50 tick chart looks like this, where we're in 7 bars of chop right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I'd prefer it to break out either long or short out of that. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for right now. And I don't think it's going to happen by the time I'm done. So that's why I didn't take it. Could have, though. I mean, so here's the 10 tick chart. It would have been appeared off the ice level. So that's a good thing. Didn't have HD or anything else. So, and I like to trail my LREs now. So I like there to be a little bit of room. I mean, yeah, you could have gotten this little scalp right here. That would have been a nice scalp for sure. Could have gotten about 7 points out of that. That would have been a really good scalp. I just didn't like the positioning of it. Yeah, there's also have a Discord as well. I'm just not really involved in the Discord too much. I'll pop in there every now and then. If you look on the description of this video or any of my videos, you'll see a Discord link. Actually, let me make sure. I'm not sure if I still have the Discord link in there or not. Let me check. Yeah, I took the Discord link out. I guess because since I'm not really in there too much, um, yeah, I've been trading futures since March of 2020. The first 2 years or so was I was I wouldn't say unsuccessful. I learned a lot, but the first two I struggled a lot with discipline. It's basically discipline and my psychology, like most people, and it just took me a long time for that part because it was all me. I understood the system. I always used the Apex system when I traded, and that was it took me a few months to really get the hang of that, and but I struggled with the whole discipline and psychology. But then this year I finally got it down. So I have not blown out a funded account this year. So I've had a funded account pretty much the entire year. So now I have multiple funded accounts, and it's pretty nice to not blow them out anymore because I've done my fair share of that for sure. Yeah, it really is a big learning curve. Apex, this system, though, makes the technical side of it very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. But then the hard part is, of course, mastering our own self. Yeah, I started trading with futures with Apex. So futures, I've only traded with the Apex system. Before then, I dabbled in some trading, some options and stocks and forex and all kinds of different ones, and never really stuck with any of it until I came across. Actually, I stopped trading. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to trade anymore because I'm not even going to try. I just lose all my money. And then, of course, COVID happened, March 2020. Everybody was home, and I came across Apex, and I was like, well, might as well try to make some money at home. And then I've just been here ever since. Dan. Well, hopefully you make a change sooner than me. Not go 2 years. But still, the way I looked at it too is we know the potential that futures trading, I mean, any trading, but especially futures with the opportunity with Apex and having multiple accounts and all that. I mean, we know the opportunity of how much money you can make and how much money I've seen people make. And, a lot of money, because that's why we trade, right? Because you want to make money, and then there's other reasons for making money, whether it's freedom of time, retirement, whatever it is. We all have our reasons, but my thinking was, where else can I really collapse time frames as fast? Even if it takes a few years, and I come from the real estate investing industry, and I know you can make a lot of money there too. And there's ways you could do it without your own money and all that, but there's a lot of factors that can mess up your consistency. You can make a big amount of money every month, but not sitting in front of the computer for a couple hours. So it's different. There's different ways, to make a lot of money. But I'm like, where else can I sit in front of my computer for an hour or two a day and make that type of money and then have the freedom? So that was my thing. Even if it takes 5 years, 10 years, although I don't want it to take that long. Yeah, real estate market is a lot going on for sure. Yep, 9:15 just about. And this market right now is dying. Still sideways. We still haven't broken out of this. Man. But like I said, I'm not expecting a lot today, especially after remembering we have CPI tomorrow, Fed funds rate Wednesday, rollovers today where the contracts are split in half. So, yeah. NQ is $5 per tick. T France. Hey, I spent a lot of money in the beginning too. The system, accounts, this, that, all kinds of stuff that I bought, and I just continued buying. But that's why, I don't know if you've heard the saying of treat your trading like a business, not a hobby. And that's what I started doing. I said, you know what? I want this to be a big thing, not just a hobby. So let me treat it like a business. And what business does not have startup expenses? Well, very few, if any. So startup expenses, and now just keep going. So it's per tick. Each tick is 25 cents. So you see it moving here. 7, 12, 50, 25. So each 25 cents it moves is $5. So if this thing moves 5 points up to here, that's $100 on one contract. So basically, 5 points would be 20 ticks times $5. So that'd be $100 move with just, from 712 just to right up here. 17. Just that little move right there would be a $100 move. Or against you. So I try to go for... Yeah, this is just the where the NASDAQ is, the NQ is at the moment. So technically, I don't really care where the price is for the NASDAQ. Yeah, and this is the US dollar. 11,000. That's just the price of the NASDAQ. And I try to get at a minimum of about 40 ticks a day, which is $200 per contract. So if you have multiple accounts, multiple contracts, you know, that can easily be $1,000 or more, depending on, you know, what you're doing. So yeah, this price is just where the market is. Doesn't really affect how much I make or anything. I mean, of course, we look at the prices to know where levels are in different areas on the market, but that doesn't really affect how much I'm making. So you don't have to have that much. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, to buy in, you don't have to have this amount of money. 11,000. It's not like a stock. So a stock, you know, if the price of a stock is $500 and you want to buy one share, then yeah, you need $500. But this, you buy one contract and you're buying that contract for $5. Like you're literally spending $5, and depending on how much it goes up or down, your account will go up or down that exact amount. But you are required to have a certain amount of margin available to trade. So, you know, to trade one, like through NinjaTrader, they have a brokerage. Each brokerage will be a little bit different. Through NinjaTrader, to trade one one contract like this, depending on what market you're on, like ES, you need to have $500 in your account. NQ, you need to have $1,000 in your account minimum. So technically you need a little bit more than that. So a couple $1,000s will actually allow you to trade one contract. You don't need the $11,000. So, and then when you buy in, like I said, you're buying in for $5, and depending on if it goes in your favor or not, you're either gaining $5 per tick or losing $5 per tick. But that's also why I use the trader funding from Apex, so I don't have to use my own money, and then margins don't have any impact on that either because I'm using their money. Yeah, I get in as soon as it gets to where I'm looking at for my LRE. So, yeah, we can scroll back to this one here. If the market's coming down, you know, let's say it's coming down, I'm watching it and I'm already targeting. Because see, as this is coming down, let me go bar by bar here. You can see as it's coming down, you can see where the solid line is, right? So you know where an LRE would be at the moment. So it's coming down, I'm watching, and I'm seeing, oh, an LRE would be here around the red ice. So I'd be anticipating that's where I want to take it. And then here, as it pulled up, then as soon as it gets there, then I just hop in. I just hit the sell market button. Hop in, and then it puts my ATM, and then I, you know, have my target, and that's it. So yeah, I'm looking there. I already know where, but I do look at all the charts together though to see if I want that entry. So I don't have to line up my mouse or anything with it. It's just whenever it gets there to that area, I hit the sell button. I just hit sell. Or like I have hotkeys on my keyboard. So like I put F10 to sell and F9 to buy. So I literally just press the button on my keyboard and it puts me in. Take a look at my LRE video also. I have a video of me going through my LRE, how I like to look for it. I actually probably need to make an updated video of that because I look at a couple more things now too, but it's a great start. Yeah, exactly. I'm not really stuck to the solid line. So there's times too where, okay, let's look at this one, for example. Let's say this is an LRE right here at this level that I wanted to take, but the solid line is a little further back. As soon as it hits this wall right here, I'm getting in. Or let's say, for example, the solid line was up here, but I see this wall and stuff down here, like right there, then I'll wait. I won't get in at that solid line. I'll wait a little bit until it comes down closer to that wall, because chances are it's going to go to the wall. Or if there's an order print, like a big stack or something, chances are it's going to go there. And I'll just wait, and then once it gets there, even if it's a little behind the solid line, then I get in. So I'm looking at the solid line, but I'm also looking at the levels and order prints mainly. LRE is one of the trades in the sniper system. It stands for low risk entry. And what it is, it's a trend trade. Like, let's say this is a trend down. We wait for a pullback and we get in and we have a smaller stop. That way it's a lower risk. All right, well, no trade for me today. Market was sideways. Looks like we may be getting this breakout bar, but we're 5 minutes to the open. So, dark zone. But I'm going to go ahead and hop off here, and I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for jumping back on here again after my week off. It's good to be back. So I hope I hope all you trade well. Whoever's still going to be trading the rest of the day. Trade well and have patience. Ronan, if you subscribe to my YouTube, it'll notify you. Hit the little bell for notifications, and it'll let you know. I'm usually on at about 8:10 or so Eastern time in the morning. Yep. All right. Y'all take care. See y'all later. Have a good one.